Greetings and salutations, everyone. It's time once again for a road least / most taken video here on youtube.com/SamusGrovo. As always, we are recording these live on twitch.tv/SamusGrovo. Please join us and be part of the action. Alright, let's get started with the Lords of Dust. A couple of these I actually know pretty well. In fact, I'd probably would say all of the Lord Dust chain I know reasonably well. There's some bits and pieces that I tend to skip in this chain. Some of the optional that just I don't usually have the ability really to do. For example, like this one right here, I think you need to have the ability to turn undead, or at least what is it, divine knowledge or something, to be able to do some of the optional. So I don't think I have, I mean, a wizard and artificer levels, I don't think I have any of those feats, but if you happen to have those feats, you can squeeze out a few more points here and there and gain an extra chest, and it would name loot in it, I believe. So it has some value for you if you happen to have some cleric level, or I don't know if it's specifically the feats or if it's the abilities. I guess we can look. Check one. Costs us nothing to look, right? Alright, so Duder's gonna run around and betray us. Let's not forget our fragment here. Meanwhile, let's stick our nose in this doorway here. Ooh, just breakables in there. Alright, so we're waiting for these guys to walk through here, and then we can go in the long way around. Hello! Let's web these guys in place and then kill them with fire. Alright, here's one of these rooms. So there's a couple of side rooms here with like altars in them. The altars are like protected by guard dogs, and I don't think they're actual dogs, but they're scary attack monster things. And then you can like break the altar, which I think might get you the experience, but not the chest. I don't remember exactly. We'll look at it. Let's blow this door down. Alright. So, break or purify the altars. So, I guess we can just break them. So, I usually don't mess with them. There's 3 altogether. I feel like if you purify them, the dogs don't attack. You can purify with the divine, yeah. But I don't remember if it takes the feat that you get from having like a single divine level, or if it can be, if it has to be like specifically a turn undead. But again, I usually avoid these options. I feel like this optional is not necessarily worth the time. Yeah, exactly. Oh, this dog is tripping us like cray-cray. Our guy's right here. Let's see if he actually heals us. He's running around like he wants to, but he's not actually casting any spells on us. I'm going to assume that he has decided that our hit points are fine. You think Bastion is the rarest NPC in the game? That can't be right. It could be, but I don't think it is. feel like there's some guys out in the Vale that I've literally seen 3 times. I feel like I run the Vale a whole lot more than I run these quests. But it'd be interesting to, like, see. Yeah, a lot of people have this in their epic daily line. I guess we should throw that out there. This is one of the quests that people like to do as their quote-unquote dailies for Reaper and or epic experience. Also, it does drop a lot of tokens of the 12, if you're correct. It is a full token. Honestly, I think people are incorrect about that assessment, and you should be running offering or Bargain Bazaar. Bargain Bazaar. The House D quest chain out in the Cerulean Hills. I find it personally to be the quickest. But yeah, this is also a full token. Get a full token out of the Bargain Bazaar, whatever it's called. And that quest takes like 5 or 6 minutes. Less if you have a full group that knows what they're doing. But I don't know if I mentioned that in my video on it or not. That's still half as fast. Yeah, time yourself on the other quest, Bastion.
As the path leads down.
All right, so right here is a little bit of, excuse me, a little bit of the deadly danger.
And looks like an empty warehouse.
As you can see, there's like all sorts of goodies. I'm gonna go ahead and use my abundant leap-esque effect to scoot through there a lot quicker with haste. But it's actually not that bad. Especially for someone with evasion to kind of move through these traps. But I have the ability, so I'm gonna take it. One of the awesome things about the Dragonborn life here.
A dank chill.
Right, so this is a little bit different. I'm actually going to web these guys and then open this door. And then I'm going to get ready to knock them out as quickly as possible. But what I wanted to do is I want to activate that infight by stepping back, or not infight, the flavor text mode by stepping back here in this corner before I start knocking out these guys. Otherwise, there's an unnecessary hold in the quest, where if you do it like I just did, then by the time you finish clearing up those guys, this should be open. And then you don't have to pause. She was pandemonium. Also, this is where the rune arm is really carrying its weight. Each of those force bolts were doing like 500 points of damage to those knights. Those knights can really take some damage. They have all sorts of like reduction type effects on them. So again, the force Force Rune Arm and the Whirling Words are both really good for this kind of nonsense. Here I'm going to go ahead and knock out the Scary Man first so I don't get neg leveled a whole bunch. Then we're going to go ahead and take out the other thing, and then we're going to focus on the Death Knights here. I only did it that way because I happened to see that he wasn't a champ. However, I feel like he's often a champ, and therefore if he was a champ I probably had did a little bit differently, but it worked out quite well that way. Okay, so we get this chest, but we don't get that chest because we didn't. Woo, healer kits! Because we didn't do the optional the other way. Should be a collectible. There it is. Give me my swaying mushroom cluster. Right, a couple of traps right here. Nothing crazy, just some spike traps. Pretty easy to avoid. There's 2 boxes. It is funny, I was hanging out with, well, not hanging out with the bro, but I was popped into their voice chat for a little bit. And he was talking about running a bunch of these different quests for the tokens. And he spent yesterday literally doing these kind of quests for tokens. And here we are running through them today, but not at a level that we can actually play with our compatriot. Alright, speaking of things, I'm going to mention that you can jump up on this light right here with a little bit of work and a reasonable jump. The reason I bring it up is because sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes you need a place to stand on certain builds at certain points in the quest, and that is a fine place as any to stand. Let's Kamehameha this door open. I have a bunch of undead here.
They seem to be finishing.
I don't think we're gonna successfully get rid of them like that. So let's switch our weapon over to acid, and we'll use the whirling words for a little bit. All right, put guy in story mode.
My friend, a nuisance. The ritual is underway, and the silver flame is powerless to stop it. So pray, shall we continue?
Yeah. What do you got? You got nothing.
Now, give yourselves, my children. Give to the glory of our cause. Stand aside! Let my minions kill this filth!
So we're going to use the power of knowledge to kind of knock these guys down, as well as the bludgeoning damage from Ice Storm and the webs to kind of hold everything in place. There's no reason for us to do anything fancy here. Power of knowledge. Again, I really love whirling words. Most monsters in the game take bludgeoning damage. Alright, so, couple of things. Because we happen to be a wizard, we have the ability to try to slam down some insta-kill effects before this guy death wards. Well, I guess none of them are going to land today. But They might have. But you can... one of the first things this guy will do is cast a Death Ward on himself. So if you're very fast and you have a reasonable DC or get lucky... my DC is about 7 lower than it probably should be if I was primarily focused on DCs at this level. Alright, you start casting mass heal. I'm gonna stand here and just shoot this guy. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. Just keep spamming the mass heal. Alright, he's dead. Alright, so he's gonna go to story mode for a little bit. We're gonna go into the back of the quest. Be sure you have your Voice of the Master on, etc., etc. Pretty quick little quest, actually. What did it take us? It took us 15 minutes, which is long. It was. But, not too bad. Alright, well that's the first quest in the Lord of Dust Chain. Hope you join us for the rest. Please interact with the video. Thumbs up, comment, etc. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. Toodles.